Hey there, listeners. Welcome back to Podcast Demastered. I am here with Chelsea as always, and this is our final episode of 2023. It seems like it's been such a long year, like in so many different ways. There's been a lot of stuff that's happened, like both in our lives, in the world, and in the world of like entertainment and stuff like that, which is, you know, where we tend to focus. We'd like to focus on that kind of stuff. But this episode, this is our year-end review. So Chelsea and I, we will be going over just all the things that we did, some of our favorites, some of our not so favorites. Well, and I don't really think there's any particular order to this. We'll just kind of start at the beginning and see where it leads us.
For sure. So
Chelsea, is there an area that you want to start with?
I feel like we could almost get TV shows out of the way. I feel like we probably don't have much to say in that category as much as we do other categories.
Not this year, I think. Yeah.
No.
Mine is really simple. So you want to go ahead?
Sure. I think I'll just talk about in general. I watched like a little bit. I feel like I watched more TV shows towards like the beginning of the year than I did this like second half. Because I think the only thing I watched this second half was the third season of Only Murders in the Building. So there's that, which I enjoy that show. I think it's fun. I don't know how many people can die for them to keep carrying on, but they did.
How many murders in the building can there be before the building becomes
no more? Maybe that's what it is, the joke there, but I don't know. I think it's pretty fun. I don't know if I enjoy the third season quite as much as the other two, but you know, it's still enjoyable. So still some fun surprises.
We've started the first season, but we kind of like forgot about it. Like we liked it, we were liking it. We just haven't picked it back up yet. We'll get there someday.
Yeah. No, there's so many shows out there. I guess because I was like, I'll mention two other shows because they were okay. We watched Poker Face. That's on Peacock, and it's a fun show. It's by Ryan Johnson. So either if you like his work from Star Wars to oh no, I totally blanked out. What's the murder movie?
Knives Out?
Knives Out, yes.
Okay, I was like, that one? I think that's right.
Oh my gosh, yes, Knives Out, yes. So then created the TV show, which is fun because this girl, it's kind of a crazy story. She's on a run, but like each episode almost has its own story. But the one thing, like she has like kind of a quote superpower where she can tell people are lying. But she just gets thrown into these insane situations where you get a setup for like somebody getting murdered or something and trying to cover it up, and then she somehow gets inserted into the situation, and then she just like slowly uncovers like what happens. But it's kind of crazy and fun. Yeah.
Okay.
And then real quickly, we both watched this Heartstopper. Yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we can't ever forget about Heartstopper.
Nope, we can't.
You know, we don't really sing the praises of Heartstopper on the podcast either. Like,
no,
we don't. It like never comes up. We have watched it. It is there. Like, we love it. It's, you know, it's a constant in our respective families, I think.
Yes, I think so. I don't think either of us have seen it quite as many times as the other person we live with, but yes.
No, not at all.
No.
I don't think I ever could. I don't think that's possible to catch up at this point.
Oh yeah, no. But it's a good time. It's a sweet, you know, romance, teen times, but you know, with lots of powerful moments, intense, sad moments.
And it's not like super mature. They don't try to make it this huge like, look how dark and grown up these teens are. It's not like that. It's a cute coming of age, obviously very LGBT, very very. But it's just so warm and cute and makes you happy.
Yeah. The listeners, you'll have to let us know if you've seen it. But if you're interested at all in that show, it's on Netflix. So go
for it. Well, it's only 2 seasons,
and you can binge it all in a day.
Oh, you can. That's been proven.
Yes,
in our households many times. Yes. So
same here.
We love you too.
Yes.
Okay. Well, my shows are not nearly as exciting. First, we started for me as a new watch. For Brandon, it was a rewatch, I guess, of One Piece, like the anime. We're only like episode like 90 something, I think. It's slow but steady. We're getting there. I'm not trying to turn this ridiculous marathon into a sprint by any means. But I grew up with lots of shonen anime, and manga and stuff. One Piece, I always kind of dodged it. I got like the Shonen Jump books, and I read it in the books, in the magazines. But then they like jumped ahead like a huge amount of time, like every book in the Shonen Jump magazine did. And I was like, well, okay, well, I don't know what's happening. So that kind of stopped. But we did start watching the live action, which I think we've only watched the first like 2 episodes so far, but we are enjoying it. It's more fun than the anime is. Like,
that's good.
Luffy gets to talk and not just kind of like scream incoherently or just like say really stupid things. He gets like actual moments of speaking time with his crewmates, which is nice. It's lovely. And then also, I think the only other new thing that I watched this year was the new Scott Pilgrim show.
That's right.
Which was very surprising because it was not a retelling of the movie at all. It kind of sold it as that, and then it was like, actually, this is like a what if show. You get a whole completely new plot, completely different plot, and I liked that a lot. I would have loved like a complete retelling in anime style of the movie, but nope. It says, "Get out of here, Scott Pilgrim. Let's focus on everybody else." And that was okay.
I was like, okay, that sounds great. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Of course, he's not like gone the whole time, but he is not there a lot. So
that's interesting.
And as we all know in our review episode of Scott Pilgrim,
yes.
which I believe was this year,
yes,
Scott Pilgrim is not a great person.
No. Do not idolize him. No.
Oh, yes. And the show doesn't do that either.
Ooh,
the show pokes at him a lot, actually, in regards to him not being a very nice, or not a nice person, but not a very good person.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of redeeming stuff from, like, the exes, and everybody gets their own little, like, self-inflection and redemption and new stuff happening with those characters as Ramona goes from episode to episode. It's more about Ramona than Scott himself.
Well, that's kind of good to see that other side, and also that just character growth for everybody else. That's cool.
Yeah, but there's still lots of Wallace, and that's okay.
Well, of course.
We love our Wallace. Or at least I love Wallace.
I think I liked him more in the books than the movie. Yeah.
Oh, well, he's more like that in the show.
Mm-hmm.
He's more like the books in the TV show than he is in the movies, which is great because Book Wallace is like he's funny like he is in the movie, but he's more of a character in the book as well. Like he has an actual like place to do things, not just like the gay roommate that's happens to be where Scott is and is there to make like catcalling remarks.
Yep. Oh gosh.
But no, I think as far as TV goes, I think that's pretty good for us this year. I don't I'm terrible about rewatching stuff that I've watched in the past. It's like a comfort thing. So my list of new TV shows was not very high this year.
Yeah. I mean, I watched a couple other ones, but I think lots of other people have talked about them plenty of enough, and I just don't really have enough words. Like, I did watch The Last of Us. That did come out earlier this year, but, I don't really have anything to say.
I haven't watched that yet. I don't think I've gotten my HBO back going again, since it finished. So that's on the to-do list when I decide to jump back into Max someday.
That'll be fine. It'll be a while before we get a season 2, so you have plenty of time to feel like you can catch up. But
for real.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have with TV shows, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to look at books real fast?
Yes, we can do that.
See, and I feel like this year I was better about reading than I was last year. Because last year I remember I had this pile of books and I just kept adding to the pile instead of I would start so many of them and not finish any of them because I was too busy starting other books or trying to finish this other book. And that was such a mess. But this year I finally let myself start audiobooking.
Oh, yes.
Because I just wasn't used to it, and when I tried it, and I was like, I can't, I need to read the words. But I started to audiobook in my my drives to and from work, which is 45 minutes in either direction. And that helped so much. Like by myself, I got to finally get through like a series that I've started like 2 years ago. Finished the whole series. I've reread a couple books. I have started some other books. Like, oh my gosh. And then like Brandon and I, we started going back through Harry Potter. Because he's never read the Harry Potter books, and we're right at the end of the 4th book. Like, oh my gosh,
okay.
we're in the middle of the 3rd task, and we haven't had time to like. I know we're right. It's like the good parts.
Oh man, have to get through that. Crazy.
I know, but I have the other 3. I have all the other 3, 5, 6, and 7 like lined up. I for those I've been using Audible. I subscribe to Audible, so like my monthly credit, I've just been using that credit to buy the next Harry Potter book. So, like, we own those now, and that's great. For all the other books, though, I've just been checking them out from, like, the library app, and that was working great until the wedding. And I had, like, 4 or 5 books on hold.
Oh, no.
So I keep getting the books, and then, like, not checking them out because I haven't had time, so they're like, sorry, like, we'll come back to you later. And I see them, I'm like, don't go, I've waited so long for you.
You're like, no.
But we'll get there again. We'll get back to that point again. But anyway, how's your year of reading gone?
Yeah, I was gonna say I did a lot of audiobooks too. I love that, like the app through the library and stuff. There's so many great things, and also that's how. I mean, I think I did more reading in general this year because I did a lot of it for the podcast. So listeners, you did a lot of yeah. I mean,
we
covered the inheritance cycle. We did 2 episodes so far on X-Men comics with the Krakoan era, which I counted how many X-Men comics I read this year. It was 188.
Oh God, and like,
which I think just sounds crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, and we've only gone through like the first act.
Yeah, and
maybe the first half of the second act, or did we finish the second act? I don't even remember.
We haven't finished it, but we do have an episode lined up. We haven't released that episode yet on the second act. Yes.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so it includes all those.
That's crazy.
And then we also read Farewell to Manzanar early this year during our month of May. We did The Forgotten Blade. That was our first episode of the year, that graphic novel. Covered that.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, well, I mean, we talked about Scott Pilgrim already. I read all the volumes for that as well.
Oh, and I reread those. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Yes.
Yeah, so it's been quite a bit of reading. Yeah.
Good and for us. Look at us go.
Yeah. And I did some Harry Potter because Amy and I have also been listening to them. We were a little bit slower this year because we only do it when we travel. But sometimes when we travel, we just don't listen to it. But we're on the 6th book right now. So I think we're probably like...
Oh, there you go.
A 4th of the way through it, I think, maybe. So, progress.
I love that one, though. That might be my favorite. Because, like, it's just... I don't feel like there's any slow parts of that book. Of the 6th book. No. There's always something coming up next. Yes. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Unlike the 7th one.
Yeah.
That's okay, though. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, so that's been a lot of my reading. So listeners, if yes, you like to read, are you interested in any of these things? We have covered a ton of episodes about that. We have more down the line. We did mention a bunch of X-Men. We've mentioned those in the last couple of our episodes. We do have plenty of episodes planned down the line covering the entirety of the Krakoan era, because things are changing next year, and well, with the comics. So
they are. Yeah, the Krakoan age is coming to an end, it would seem. Although we don't know enough to say that 100%, but that's kind of where we're headed. So we'll see. We'll know more in the coming months on that. So
we'll do some X-Men episodes sprinkled throughout. So we won't just have like 10 episodes straight all about X-Men. Even though we could do that, but
we could. This could be an X-Men podcast. It sure could.
Oh gosh, but no, we'll have some variety. But yes, we promise those are still coming down down the line for next year. So. Is there any books like that you read by yourself that out in your mind keep your thoughts going? I mean, it was still kind of for the podcast. I mean, for when we did our episode in May and we talked about like Farewell to Manzanar and some of the books. One of the books I read was Gasa Gasa Girl Goes to Camp. And that was a really interesting story because that was also a real story where she put like she had a bunch of her art in that she had made after being incarcerated, and because she was at Amache, which is where my family was from, that they were there, and so that was cool to have that connection, and then also just like hearing the little snippets of her reflecting because she was such a young child when she was there. But I mean, that really sticks with me because it was such a unique experience to have like both her artwork put in with like little stories that were based off her artwork about that time. So
that's really cool though.
Yeah. And then I mean in general, like the inheritance cycle, like Aragon stuck with me. Like I think that was such a great time reading all that, like completely through / like some of that again but I'm ready to talk about more Aragon-esque episodes. We might have some more in the future because
we have Murtagh.
Yes.
That's one of my poor books that's sitting in the pile right now. My book pile is actually very small right now. I think it's really only like 2 books. And Murtagh is one of them. Just because it came out right before I got married. Along with like
a million other
The
things.
Iron Flame, the sequel to the Fourth Wing book, that's also sitting with Murtagh. And Fourth Wing was something I read this year, like a million people. I am not like it's not an indie book or anything. A lot of people read the Fourth Wing, and I have not touched. Well, I'm on the page like 11 of the sequel. I haven't done anything with that, but we'll get there on that too.
Yeah. Well, did you have a favorite from the year? A book that stuck out to you?
Well, I finished the Darker Side of Magic trilogy. Well, all 3 books. I finished the first one, and then I blasted through the second and the third one. And wow, just those books were so good. Like by the time I finished that third one, I was not ready to be done. Like with that series, it was the ending was so like big and so just crazy, and where it leaves everything for the characters. I'm like, but why can't there be more? It was so good, and there is a 4th one. The author did make a 4th book like set in that world, in that universe. Although it doesn't have anything to do, I don't think, with like the plot that ended. It like kind of creates a new plot. But I haven't picked that book up yet. We'll get there eventually. That one's just kind of at the bottom.
Yeah.
I needed to give myself some time to get away from that universe and take care of some other things, but I will be returning to finish that book as well. But I think one of my favorite things I read this year was the Lattes and Legends and Lattes.
Yes. You were telling me about that one. Yes.
It was so good. Like I have that book, and I was trying to read the book, but that's one of those things I ended up audiobooking. And I found out that the audiobook is actually read by the author.
Oh.
And he did such a good job. Like, that book is not very long, but like listening to him read that book, I was just like, this is so like cozy. This is so warm. He does such a good job at his own, like reading his own stuff.
That's really
like
cool.
He has such a unique voice. But no, the story was so good. And then I was really excited because like, oh, there's another book coming out. Which is actually, it's really funny because it came out like the same time that like Murtagh and the Iron Flame came out. But then I found out that book was not a sequel. It's like a prequel, kind of.
Oh, okay.
It takes place like way before Legends and Lattes takes place. So it's not exactly like a cozy style book like that book is. It's like takes place in her like adventuring time.
Okay.
But I really hope that one day he writes like an actual sequel because oh my god, like the characters are so good, and like how they create like this little coffee shop and like the plot that takes place around it, because even though it's like this cozy affair, there are like some bigger moments in the book like where things are happening, and I can't ruin anything, but it's so.
I know you want me to read it, so yes,
I do. It because you'd really like it. You'd really like that book. And it didn't take me hardly any time at all to get through. But I think that might be like, that's up there with like the favorite things I read this year.
Yeah. Well, speaking of cozy, should we move on to one of our other categories?
Sure.
Cozy gaming. That's how I was going to segue.
Cozy gaming!
Yes.
There is a lot of cozy gaming that happen, and not so cozy gaming. Yeah. Apparently, considering our PlayStation wrap up.
Oh my gosh.
Us thrill seekers over here.
Yes, we were laughing at that. I love the description, and I was like, I guess that was me at the beginning of the year, because we can go through a wrap up. I think I want to give listeners just a second of silence to think about, well, at least I didn't actually check with you what your number one game for the year was, but it's probably similar. Try to guess what our number one PlayStation game was this year.
Like our top, like what our top.
Oh yes, like what we played
was?
The most. Yeah, our top game, like on the PlayStation wrap up, like hours put in.
We can't argue with it because it says it. It tells us it. Yeah, we have to accept it for what it is.
Okay, so they now listeners have had a moment. Okay, it's probably the same. Well, it's the same as mine was last year. Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah, Dreamlight Valley for me as well. How much?
Yes.
How much of your annual playtime did it allegedly take up?
36%.
I was 24%.
Okay.
Crazy.
And it says so far, I mean, when this episode comes out, like, I'll still be playing Dreamlight Valley, so my official year end will still have I'll have plenty more hours added. But currently, it says I have spent 147 hours playing Disney Dreamlight Valley.
147 total, like, just this year, I guess, or like period?
Yes, this year, it says.
Okay. So you say 147?
Yes.
Oh, Chelsea. You have me beat.
Oh, I do?
I'm at 143.
Oh, yay, I beat you so far this year.
Okay, well, what's your second highest game of the year?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, mine too. Okay, what's your hours on that one?
92 hours.
Oh, okay. I've got you beat. I have 132.
Wow.
But I got probably
a platinum
counts
in that time.
Well, yes, but I think that probably counts Brandon's playthrough in it too, though. So, although he hasn't beaten the game, he's like right at the end of the game. But it's basically 2 full playthroughs. So, basically.
There you go. Yeah. Yes, should we go through our 3, 4, and 5, or just our 3?
Yeah, we can run through them real fast. What's your number 3?
Yeah. Horizon Forbidden West.
Okay. I believe that. Mine is Final Fantasy 16.
I'll believe that too. Yeah. My number 4 is God of War Ragnarok.
My number 4 is Midnight Suns.
Oh.
Which is very interesting, but okay.
Because you felt like you played it more last year, at the end of last year, than you did this year.
Yeah. But I played that game a total of like, what was it? Like some 70 or 90 hours or something? Like, which just, oh God, like, I've just beat the game. I didn't like go and, I don't think I trophy hunted or anything like that. So it is a long game though.
Yeah, I thought so. And then my number 5, I had to laugh, but I'm not surprised. And I've definitely sunk these hours in like the last like 2 months. Disney Speedstorm.
I was about to say, dang it. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Which is crazy. Like, but it's such a good game. It's so like put together, and like the music is so good, and they give you the damn battle passes, so like you gotta do stuff.
Yeah. Like that part's annoying, but like the racing's so smooth, it's so fun, the variety between all the characters, you like so many Disney characters. Also, listeners, you should give it a try because it is free to play. That was one of the Disney games that actually did follow through becoming free to play. So
oh yeah.
Love you Dreamlight Valley still, but Speedstorm, yes. It's a fun time.
It just turned into a different thing on us, didn't it? Mm-hmm. So my number 5, I'm a little surprised about. Like, I need to go look into this, actually. Because my number 5 is Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, okay.
But, like, we've only had Baldur's Gate 3 for, like, 2 weeks. Like, literally, like, the day after the Game Awards, I think, is when I bought it. Mm-hmm. But what's not on here, which is what I thought would be up in here, is Spider-Man 2.
Oh, yeah.
But I also haven't beaten it yet. So it's probably because I don't have like my total playtime yet because I haven't beaten it. Which I guess I should probably do that while I'm on break. Whoops.
Maybe those two are like really close, and you're just like Spider-Man was just an hour or two behind it or something.
It's gotta be because like when that came out, we didn't just like sit around and not play Spider-Man. Like we were playing it most nights. I guess it just wasn't as long as I thought it was. But I'm probably like halfway through the story. But I also know like the Spider-Man 2 is not that long of a game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm taking my dear sweet time in doing all the stuff while I go through the story. So because that's it. Like that's Spider-Man though. Like once you beat the game, like that's it. Or like once you complete all the quests and you do all the stuff, you know, like that's kind of it. That's the end of that. Yeah. So I like to take my time.
That's fair. There's always lots to do, and I'm sure it's a great time just exploring and stuff. I'm looking forward to playing it. I requested it from my library, but it'll be a bit before I get it. So
almost. I bet you're really close.
I hope so. I hope maybe early at the beginning of the year we'll be able to play it. But yeah.
Well, as far as our wrap up goes, is there anything else you wanted to cover? I mean, besides us apparently being thrill seekers in our play style?
Yes. Well, I loved it called us a party animal, and I'm like, really? I feel like more people like play parties than we did.
Well, like they grade you purely in like whatever social aspect you play, and like we don't play socially. Like if we do, I think we're playing together. But
yeah,
what did it say? Like I had made a whole 7 parties this year, something like that.
Yeah, I think mine was like 10. You really partied it up with 10 parties this year, party animal. I'm like, okay, sure, PlayStation.
Like, all right.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
So before we switch over to a different system, I guess, how many hours did you play on your PlayStation 5? I need to know this.
Yes. Okay, let me go to that. And this thing too, so I did get my PS5 this year. So, but I mean, I got it like really early at the beginning of the year. But so I kind of left the PS4 behind. I still get on it occasionally. Okay, so total hours that I have played this year, 401 at this point.
I have 585. And apparently 14 games. Between 14 games.
It says 72.57% of the time was playing 5 games of those hours, which was clearly the top 5.
Dang. So. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I've got 14 games for 89%. And then I like 11% I played 8 PS4 games. So I wonder what they did.
Okay. It says I played 13 games total. Yeah. But
let's see. You wanna look at our Xbox real fast?
Oh yes, we can do that. Let me pull that up.
So my total time spent on my Xbox this year was 32 hours. I played 3 games. Those 3 games, so my top 3 games were Starfield at 22 hours, and I played Skyrim, shocker, for 10 hours. And then my last game is Sea of Stars. I downloaded it the day it came out, and it looked way up my field. Like I was like, oh, this is my kind of game, which it was. But I only spent 30 minutes on it because of when it came out, and I haven't gotten to like get back into it. But that will be a game someday that I am jumping at. I will be revisiting that game.
Yeah. Okay. So my Xbox time, which like I said, I still don't have an Xbox. I played all of this solely through xCloud. xCloud does work, and it was really smooth. So I played 41 hours. It says over 5 games, but I really only played 3 games. My number 1 was Starfield with 28 hours, which I did pick back up again and started playing more. I really want to get through like the main storyline and go through things. So probably sometime next year I'll be done with that.
I'm going to wait till they start like updating things. I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. And my number 2 game was Kentucky Route Zero TV edition. So I played that game in its entirety. So that was 9 hours. So very big difference between the 2. And then my third game, which unfortunately I haven't finished it yet, so I want to get back to it, which I'm really close, is Norco. So I've put in 3 hours to that game. I think I only have like an hour or two left, but I thought it was a really good game so far. So that's my variety of games.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's more I could play on Xbox. Like if we're talking like exclusive-ish stuff, there's a lot of stuff that I could play. I just like, man, I don't get a lot of time on my Xbox, because I'm usually on my PlayStation, or like, oh, I could play this on my Xbox, but I'll just play it on my PlayStation. But if they start updating Starfield, I'll be back on that. I'm sure I will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's a game I feel like you can just keep coming back to anytime. Like you can just play a little bit here and there because there's so many things to do just because of the open world aspects, just exploring, doing all the rabbit hole of side quests, go back to the main story. So yeah,
absolutely.
And listeners, we had an episode on Starfield. You guys can check that out if you haven't already. And we did actually enjoy that game. That's why we're still talking about it. So, check that episode out if you haven't.
We just didn't like blast our way through it or anything.
Yeah, no.
We'll get there someday.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I know we played a variety of other games too. I think we played some computer games, some mobile games, some...
Oh gosh, yeah. So like on computer, like I'm always playing Final Fantasy 14. Not a lot, like right now, because we're just kind of in like we're kind of getting ready for an expansion. So most of the story's up. There's just not a lot to do outside of like the grinding and stuff. So we Brandon and I, we get on it just a couple hours a week, really. It's pretty chill. And we started Baldur's Gate on the PC. We moved to the PlayStation. You and I both played Rakuin.
Yes, we did.
Which I think still devastates us to this day.
It does. It's so beautiful. The music, so lovely.
I still listen to that soundtrack all the time. I can't not.
As you should. God. Yeah. We had a whole episode on that, so you guys can...
Sure did. It's a wonderful episode too. Go listen.
Yes.
Just do that. Do that for us.
Yeah. I do want to play Laura's newest game that came out, which is supposed to be a lot more lighthearted and stuff.
Mr. Saito? Yeah. That'll have to be something that we do this year.
For 2024, for sure.
And then as far as like mobile games, anything crazy?
Well, I did get you hooked on a mobile game, and I'm very proud of myself for that.
Hateful. Yes.
I love it. We'll talk more about this game, I'm sure, at some point, but
yeah, we'll have to do like some kind of an episode or something with it.
Once you get further in the story with that, we're gonna cover it because there's still some craziness to be had that you'll come across.
Well,
but
and
we're talking. Yeah.
It's awful because I haven't been paying attention to a lot of the story. I know.
It's slow at the beginning, though. Yeah.
Well, so for people who think we're beating around the bush, sorry. Yeah. We're talking about Hogwarts Mystery on the phone.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And like where you take yourself through like 7 years of Hogwarts and you have your own little story, and basically like your time at school ends like right before Harry's begins.
Mm-hmm.
So the timing is relevant. Like you have a lot of the same characters, but there's lots of like game specific characters too. And I am right at the end of the 4th year. Like literally, like my next story task is to go end the 4th year. And I'm just kind of waiting. I'm waiting because I got hit with a bunch of like limited time events, like story events. And I'm
Did that holiday event just pop up for you? The new holiday one? Yes.
Yes. And I am paying attention to that one because it's about Dumbledore and Fawkes. So
I like that one. I'm like, this is a pretty good one. It's a fun little like,
have you done
cheery. I'm working on it now. Yeah, it's a brand new one.
Okay. Yeah. I've just like I'm on like the 3rd like thing. So I'm not like Ben just left. T just left to go home.
Okay, I'm only like in the
like,
second part.
Oh, okay. Like like I'm chasing after Dumbledore to go talk to him about Fawkes. Like literally, I don't know what's happening yet.
Oh, okay. So, well, it's fun. It's nice so far.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, like it's funny. So I did all of the December, all of the holiday ones. I got them all done, like all 700 of them. Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, and I was like, I can rest. I can do something else. And then it was like I finished the story. I got caught up to where I was in the story, like about to end the 4th year. And then it was like, oh, you have 2 events you need to choose from. And I was like, what? And one of them was like going into the Forbidden Forest with the centaur and like dealing with some stuff there. And the other one was, it was like your first Valentine's date.
Oh yeah.
Like with Lockhart.
Oh well, yeah.
Like ew.
I'm like, ew, go away.
Which I found that was really funny because anytime like Lockhart was like in one of the story event chapter thingies, the clickies, you know, like the story things, they were only on him. Because, you know, like you have to focus on him because it's Lockhart.
Of course. Yeah.
I thought
That's
that was
so funny.
flippin' hilarious. But I did get to do my first Valentine's date, and I continued to choose Barnaby.
Barnaby is a good choice.
We love Barnaby.
Yeah. I love Penny more, though. Sorry.
You do love Penny, and Penny's great.
Yes.
Although there was one of the things, like, at the beginning, because you get to learn all these, like, Valentine's-related, like, spells and things like that. And Marula says something, like, you're talking to somebody, and she comes up, and she's just like, what are you even talking about? Like, what are you doing? And there was, like, an attribute, like, if your attributes are high enough, you can choose a thing. And it was, like, it was basically saying, like, oh, I like you, Marula.
Yes, I remember
And
that.
she was like, and she's like, and I was like, okay, that's, even though Barnaby was standing right there.
It's
I was like,
okay,
I
he
can't
won't.
not mess with her. I gotta mess with her.
Yes.
And she's all like, oh, like, sorry I asked. Like, walked away. But it's funny because she's one of the romanceable options too.
Yes.
Which is funny, even funnier because she's not one of your friends. Like, you can't like have a friendship with her, but you can date her if you want to.
She's like the only one like that too. It's
I know. Like, even though she's such a flippin' jerk all the time.
I have so
not
many
even
mixed
like a
feelings about her.
flirtatious jerk. She's like just a jerk.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
she's like, oh, do I
straight
have a
out trying to
chance to
sabotage
maybe
you.
get him
Yeah.
killed? Okay, let's
Yes.
do that. Like an actual jerk.
Yeah.
But I did choose Barnaby, and life is great. Although from what I understood though, that is not that's a 5th year event. Like the Valentine's, like, and I guess there's a whole bunch of Valentine's events.
Yeah.
Like they are all in the 5th year. And I have not started the 5th year yet, which also made me mad because I got like romance points for Barnaby, but he's maxed out at 4 because I have not like gone into my 5th year. So I bet there was a whole bunch of points that I missed out on getting for him, and I was like, that's a bummer.
No, that's really
okay,
annoying too, because when you get those higher level like those attributes for like the romance or whatever, it takes forever to level those up. But yeah, I think that's the one problem with that game for like people who like start now or who were started like not too long ago, is that they bombard you with so many of the like limited time side quests, because there have been so many, and like they always do some of those like right around like the holidays and stuff. So there's like multiple Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's, like all those things, and so it like can be overwhelming, because not only do you have those side quests, you also have like Hagrid and his 5,000 animal side quest, you have Quidditch, and then you have the main storyline. But I love it. I'm about to graduate. I'm so close, but then this limited time side quest started, so I'm focusing on that. But I'll be graduating by the end of the year. So
I think when I finish this new Christmas event, I think I'm gonna focus on Quidditch for a little bit.
Okay.
Because like there's only like 4 seasons of Quidditch. I'm on the second one. I'm somewhere in the middle of the second one, so I think I'm just gonna like throw a bunch of energy and stuff into the Quidditch stuff for now. Like I don't need to finish it before I move on, but I will get myself ahead.
Yeah. Kind
of, because I find most of the people involved with Quidditch to be super annoying.
Yes, 100%.
Like that's it. That's the end of that. Like Penny pops up every now and then to do some fun stuff, but like that's it. Like Sky, no thank you. Murphy, don't talk to me again. Orion, like you don't even know what today is. Like he's
I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, he's so like hippie-ish. It's like he's way out there. He's way the heck out there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah. I kind of like Wrath, but like she's not in it that much, but like
I know you can unlock her as a friend, but I have not gotten that far yet. Yeah. She just kind of stands in places to like glare at me like she's gonna beat me to a pulp, and like, or I'm gonna disappear the next day, and then she just leaves. I'm just like, okay.
Yep.
All right.
She'll eventually talk a little more, but still not that much. But yeah, no, the Quidditch stuff's just
fine.
kind of annoying. It's whatever.
Yeah. But to move on, one of my favorite mobile games, I've played it since the first day it came out, is the Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia. It just announced that it'll be ending service February 29th, which is also, funnily enough, the day that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out. But they will be ending service for that game, and I think that's been going on for 6 years now.
Oh.
And it's one of those things where it's not that like people are like they're losing money on it or people aren't playing it. They kind of painted themselves into a corner with the gameplay. They introduced, like, with every like tier of weapon in that game, like a new like gameplay mechanic was introduced. And with the current tier of weapon, they're called force weapons, and it kind of took gameplay and forced it into, well, now you have to play with the force mechanic, and you have to, and now like so the goal for every fight is the exact same, and that's just kind of how it is, and I don't think they can move past it. So like if they were to go onto a new weapon, well, but the force stuff is always there now. Like, they really hurt themselves with the force mechanic, and so they'll be shutting down. And that I haven't like thought about a lot about that game shutting down, which is, the Dissidia games are special Final Fantasy games because they take all of the characters of all of the games and they put them in one place, where every single Final Fantasy game is its own world, its own universe, its own everything. They are not connected at all. But now you get to see all these characters like talk to each other about their characters, about their own worlds, about like the mechanics in their worlds that make their like lores and universes special. You get to see those things happen, and the writing for this game has been very, very fun and very impactful too. Like, they revisit the stories of the games like after those games takes place, so you get weird sequels in a way to those games through this game, because the characters revisit, even though like their enemies, their villains are all there, because they can bring like where they're at, they can bring like reflections of the dead characters back. So then those characters, whether they're good guys or bad guys, they have to reflect on the fact that they died, you know, or heaven forbid somebody tells them who killed them, or things like that, you know. They have to reflect on those things, and that's all tied into the story. And anyway, there's like 160 characters in the game, and all of them have gotten extremely fleshed out, like moments, and continue to be used. So it's just a lot of like, I put a lot of time into this game, a lot of time, because for the most part, I was a free to play player for the most part. I did little things here and there, but like, whew. And then after this game goes, that's the end of Dissidia, because there are no more Dissidia games being talked about. There's nothing going on. So there's a lot of stuff like hitting kind of heavy with the end of this specific mobile game. But I'm also very happy that a mobile game was able to like pull me in this way. So anyway, yeah, but mobile gaming wise, I'm always trying to find new stuff, but there's not much that sticks usually with me.
Yeah. And I think it's hard too when you have those games that stick, like this one that you were talking about, and like then they end, and like you invest all that time in, you get really into the story, and it's just sad, like,
because once it goes, it's gone. You can't just go back into the app and like check stuff out. It's gone. It's unaccessible.
That sucks.
Unless they're planning on surprising us, but probably not. I feel like they would have already done that.
Yeah. Well, that's like with the Kingdom Hearts games too. Like,
well, you can still go into those and like watch the story and stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, but I enjoyed playing. I think there's a different aspect too with that too.
Yeah. Well, we do have that new Kingdom Hearts mobile game to look forward to.
Yes, that is true.
So it's coming.
Testing it.
It's coming soon. Yeah. They were in and out of beta. So it's coming. It's for sure coming.
Yeah. But yep, mobile games. Those that
Yeah,
stick around.
we went on a big old thing for mobile games, didn't we? My goodness.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've played a lot of games this year.
Yes.
We played a lot of games separately. We played a lot of games that we talked about on the podcast and some that we didn't. We played a lot of games together, like together, like multiplayer, and we played some games just at the same time, which we have. And this makes me so happy to get to say this. We have a lot more of this going on next year too. We have some games that we plan on playing side by side to talk to you all about. We have some games that we have planned to play together, like multiplayer. This very morning, we we booted up Fortnite and we got to jump into some of the new stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Specifically, we're doing Lego. We're doing the survival stuff. We've had a wonderful time with that. Even the hour or two that we played it so far.
We didn't want to get off, and we're like,
we didn't.
We have other things to do. Yeah.
we got to go record. We got to do some other things, but we haven't touched the racing stuff. We haven't touched the Fortnite festival, the Guitar Hero stuff. I imagine we should probably get back into just like Battle Royale at some point.
Yeah. We'll be
and that's just Fortnite. Yeah, that's just Fortnite. We have planned at some point, Chelsea is diving into Final Fantasy games. So we've started dipping our toes into Rebirth. No. Whoa. Remake. Whoa. 7 Remake. Good God. Not even out yet. So there's that. We've got stuff with that going on. Oh my gosh, what am I missing, Chelsea?
I mean, games. I think there's so many other games. There's like games that we've talked about this year that I don't think either of us got around to playing, or things that I would love for us to cover in the future. Like there's a lot of fun things with that. I can't even remember all the games, but I think we have lots of game content down the road for sure.
We do, and listeners, if you've been with us all year, like, thank you. That's awesome. If listeners, if you've been here for several years, like, that's crazy. You've seen us change a lot, I think, since we've started this. But next year we've been throwing around some ideas for next year. We're hoping that time allows us some of these cool things. We've talked about creating a Discord server. We've kind of shuffling up our social media a little bit.
We also have our 100th episode coming next year in March.
We have our 100th episode. I think that's like the endish of March, maybe.
Yes,
something like that. But listeners, we're kind of compiling stuff for that. If there's something you think we should do for our 100th episode, let us know. We are all ears.
Yeah, and we definitely have, I think there's even more ideas we've thrown around for future episodes, some things that we already have like ready to go, and some of that category actually includes if we want to move on to movies, because with both the strikes that happened this year, we, out of respect, we did not cover any movies or shows or anything during that time, and there were a lot of great things that came out this year, a lot of things that we wanted to talk about, and some of them we already have episodes ready for next year, and some also maybe a huge episode in celebration, I guess, of a studio now, just because of our love for the
we can do that now too. Yeah
Mixed feelings kind of on that, but just the joy that the things from the company brings us, I guess. So
yes,
we'll see. Yeah.
us personally,
yes,
not from a company standpoint, but from a content standpoint.
Yes, so we hope that'll be a fun episode. I'm sure it'll be crazy. But before we leave games behind, was there a game that stood out to you? Like, did you have a favorite this year?
Oh man. Well, like Baldur's Gate 3, I haven't gotten to spend a lot of time with it yet, but like I have my own file, and then Brandon and I have also started one together. And it's been so fun to get to do that with Brandon, but also like to get to like play a game that is so thorough in its storytelling. Like you can do so many crazy, ridiculous things. Dreamlight Valley has been something for both of us, I think, this year that it's crazy because we've only had it for like a year and some months.
Yeah.
But like I don't want it to go anywhere anytime soon. I just want more. Like the stuff that they have planned out for like till the summer so far is fantastic. Like can we speed up time so we can do some of those things?
I'm impatient about those things. I totally agree.
So
it's exciting.
They can just keep doing what they're doing there. Please and thank you. I have hardly got to touch Super Mario RPG. Hardly gotten to touch it. So I'm so excited to get to do that. Like, and that's the thing. You just cuddle up on the couch and you got your Switch. You're good to go for Super Mario RPG. But other than that, like, no, I guess. Like, those are some pretty big things all great from games. This year, though.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. No. Like I said, I'm totally with you with Dreamlight Valley. Absolutely love that game. Such a great game just to, like, chill, just play, like, you know, just relax and just enjoy the vibes. It's so fun, and it's a game where I'm just like, oh crap, I've been spending, like, how long have I been playing this game? Like, just sitting here and just
like it was light outside when I started playing this game.
Yeah. Yeah. But I did actually just start. So there was DLC that just came out for Lake. It came out in November. So Lake was like, yeah. So that was a fun little cozy game where you drive the mail truck around the area. But this time, so they have a DLC. So it came out in November for the holidays called Season's Greetings. But this time you play as the main character's dad. And it takes place like a year prior. And so it's like a snowy little town delivering the mail. Everybody's getting ready for Christmas. So I just played like maybe just like an hour at most into that game, and I'm already like, yes, I love being back in the mail truck with the music playing and just driving around.
That's a game that I need to try to play this year.
Yes,
that is something.
Highly recommend it. But yeah, no, like looking to this year, I have such a long list of games to play. I have like a huge backlog because there's so many games I didn't even get to this year.
Oh, same.
Yeah. But I'm sure we'll talk about some in the future. Yeah. There's always games to play, but hey, I'm not complaining. So
Are there any major games like coming out this year? I feel like I was asking myself this question earlier. I don't feel like there's a lot of craziness going on in 2024 yet. Like the end of February we get part 2 of the 7 remake. That'll be absolute, like, I don't know if you've seen some of the stuff that's come out on that. My God. I'm not going to be alive when that game comes out because I will be completely sucked into that. I'm sure, like, because it's another year, I'm sure there will be another Pokemon game announced on Pokemon Day in February that'll come out in November like it always does. And it's looking like it's going to be like the Gen 5 remakes. So we'll see on that. But other than like those two things, I don't know if there's a lot like on the horizon, you know?
Yeah. Like there's a couple things like I want to keep my eye on, but I'm not sure they even have like confirmed dates yet or anything. And it's not something that like I'm thinking like I need to play immediately because I've just been thinking constantly of my backlog. And I mean, the only thing I guess I'm like super excited for is we've already talked about Dreamlight Valley, obviously, like with more of their story coming out early at the beginning of next year, beginning of 2024. So I'm looking forward to seeing where all that goes. But I mean, I think we'll both just, you know, hope we'll get a tease of something at some point for Kingdom Hearts. That's all we can do. Maybe we'll find out more about the mobile game. So
the mobile game should be coming out. Like it should be out in the next couple months. I think like they're really getting close to the end of that. So that'll be nice to have something Kingdom Hearts based. But like I think you're with me, and you just want 4. You just want 4. Like they can't have a trailer like they had.
Oh my gosh.
Like, then we're just gonna forget
and then
about
just
it.
Not saying it. Yeah.
Which I mean, that's very Nomura to do, but still.
Yeah, I don't.
Not everybody
wait,
can be Yoshi P.
No.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
that too.
We're getting older here. We can't just be waiting forever. Sorry. Like, you know, we don't want you guys to be pressured and like under a super time crunch, but you know,
and like
tease us.
They don't make Kingdom Hearts games for like new audiences. Like it's the same audience. No. Jesus H Christ. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna be so old. We're gonna die.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, here's to hoping for some news. But should we move on to our final category
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
segment.
let's talk. And you'll have a lot more to say on this front than I will, because you always do. Because you consume movies better than I do. I go watch the big stuff, and then you watch like everything.
I was like,
which is yeah.
I do. That is like the number one like media type thing. Like I do consume the most of. Like I feel like people might think we play a lot of video games, which I do feel like I do, but at the same time, like I've seen a ton of movies. I don't think I've actually seen as many movies this year as I have in the past couple of years, but I did a rough count, and like new movie wise, I think I saw at least around a little over 50 new movies this year. So I guess that is a lot. But
Wow. Okay, and I have a whole like 4 written down. I'm sure I've watched more, but I just cannot, like, I was thinking, because I know we like to go to the theater. We like to go and watch new movies, and I just can't think. Like, here's my list. Here's the list of stuff that I'm like, oh, I know I watched these things. I watched the Mario movie. Loved it. Bought it on DVD. I have it. It's mine. I love it so much. Obviously, watched Spider-Verse. Holy crap. Like, yes. I watched The Marvels. We did a whole episode on that, obviously.
well, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming. Oh, sorry.
Yes,
sorry,
yes.
listeners.
Yes.
You'll get there. You'll hear what we said about it eventually.
It's our tease though, but yes, the Marvels. We have an episode coming. Lots of hearts there,
And also I watched Barbie, which I also loved, and I also bought. Oh, I just thought another one. I watched the D&D movie.
Oh yeah,
I watched that. And we just talked yesterday about going and doing a double screening, double movie date, and because I want to watch The Boy and the Heron.
Yes. That's what I was hoping you were gonna say.
I found out they're playing it subbed and dubbed at the theater. I'll probably watch the dubbed one, because like some of the like the voice act, like the English voice acting, like what? Like I saw a bunch of stuff on that. I want to go watch the dub.
It's insane.
Yeah. Like not. Yep. Moving on.
Yeah.
But and then to go with that, I either want to watch Wish because it's out, I guess. Watch Wish or watch.
Don't say Wonka. No.
No, it was Wonka. It was
Okay.
Wonka. Between Wish or Wonka, like,
I get that.
Like either one is fine. Like a bunch of my kids have seen Wonka, and they really liked it. So like, okay, I haven't heard anything like bad about Wish. I haven't heard a lot of amazing about Wish, but I haven't heard like people have not been like bombing. Like in my space, they have not been like bombing on Wish. So like either or, but definitely The Boy and the Heron.
Yes.
Absolutely
sure.
The Boy and the Heron.
I can't wait to talk about that movie with you. I don't know if we'll do an episode on that or not. Maybe we will, but oh my gosh, that movie was great. That was the last movie I watched. But I mean, I said I've like watched over like 50 new movies, but they're like new to me. So some of these movies like did not come out this year. But I'm surprised. I think it's because it was so early in the year. But I know you did really like this movie because we did an episode on it.
The Elemental.
Well, Elemental, yes, but also Everything Everywhere All at Once. We did an episode.
I couldn't remember if that was this year or not.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, that's like number one. That's number one. Yeah. I still think about that movie.
Oh my gosh.
Every day of my life. Like I haven't rewatched it yet. Which I get. There's only a few movies, and it's starting now. There's only a few movies that are in this kind of club together, but I can't rewatch it yet because I'm not ready to like revisit that. I'm going to start crying right now. I'm not ready to revisit that emotional space yet. And really the only other movie, well, there's 2 other movies. Grave of the Fireflies. I don't think I can ever do that again. Ever. I can't do it.
I do it a lot of times and I regret it, but also it's just like,
oh my god. Well, like I don't think Brandon has seen it. So like he knows all about it. Like he knows what it is. But one day we'll have to watch it. So I guess I'm going to have to revisit because I'm going to have to like be there for him with that. I can't let him watch that by himself. But the second one, and this is so silly because like this is not like in those categories with those movies, but the other one is the final rebuild of Evangelion movie. That well, oh wait, no, that came out last year. It was like in August it came out. But the final Evangelion movie is the same way for me too. Because it's not just a wrap up of like this like remade Evangelion series, but like it's a closure of all of Evangelion. And the like when the movie came out on Amazon and we got to watch it, we watched the sub. We watched the dub. We watched the dub, and like I just like the end of the movie hits when the part of the movie like, oh, this is the end. Like we're wrapping it up. Like and like the plot is finishing, but then like Hikaru Utada's theme song for the movie kicks in, and it's not a sad song by any means, but the upbeat nature of the song kicks in, and like I'm sitting there on my couch and like focused on the ending, and then I realize I'm just bawling like silently, but I am just crying. And like Brandon reaches over, he's like, "Are you okay?" And I look at him and I realize, oh my god, I really am crying. And like the credits just rolled, and I think I sat there on that couch for a half hour and just like head in my hands, just silently just cried. And then we went to watch it forever later. We got to go to a theater and watch the sub or the dub, whichever one we didn't watch. We got to watch it in the theater, and I was so scared, but it happened again. I just
like darn music and just like everything with it, just
the feeling of so everything ending, and then there's finally a happy ending to this whole series, and everything like what it means for all the characters, just it hits you again, and it just got me again. And I haven't watched this movie again since that moment, because I think about it and just the release. It's a release of all of these terrible, terrible things that the children, the main characters of this show has gone through. But it's like none of it matters anymore. And then like, because like all the themes that Evangelion covers, it's a release of everything. It's just none of it matters. No. And you get that like with the feelings of the kids, with the setting of the finale, with the music hitting, you get that huge sense of just like it's done. And it's just bonkers. It's kind of like the ending of Everywhere. It's where everything is just coming to a head, and there's tension and there's fighting, and it's just awful. And it's like, how could you say these things? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Just it's so intense, but like beautiful, and just like it's really great in a lot of ways to have these amazing films like this. But yes, like. They affect you so much where you're like, yes, it's a great film, but I don't need to watch it like
I can't do that again
right now. Yeah, like
yeah.
That's so powerful like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh.
No. I know when we were making this like the list talking about the different categories, at the top I wrote, can I just count Everything Everywhere All at Once like as being like it's just the top movie every single year?
Yeah.
Like
yes, we can.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, because I watched it last year, but yes, watching it again this year, also incredible. Like listeners, if you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to that episode because it's
you will if you haven't seen
just
the
go
episode
watch the movie.
Go listen to go watch the movie. Go listen to our episode and join us, please.
Yes. Yes, for real.
Join us.
But no, I mean, there's been a lot of those type of movies because like Elemental has some of those kind of elements. Doesn't quite hit as like deep or as hard, but like, we had a joy talking about that. Another movie, which actually I realized is not on my list, that we both talked about, that was a pretty good movie that I feel like not many people talked about because it came out in June when a bunch of other things were coming out. Nimona on Netflix.
Oh, Nimona. Oh, yeah. That was a good movie. That was cute.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot more than cute, but
yeah, no, definitely a lot of layers.
It was a lot
of
good,
too, but it was
it
was a surprisingly really great film. A lot going on for that, so that was really great. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the movies I watched this year that I really loved were all animated, but I'm a huge animation fan, so
we don't subscribe to the like animation movies are not real movies. Yeah. We don't play that game.
100%. No.
100 million% they are real movies. Yeah. Come on now.
Oh my gosh. And
tell me you've never felt emotions in your life without telling me you've never felt emotions in your life.
Yeah, for real. But the same as you, I haven't seen Wish yet. I'm still like holding out, and I don't know why. because I like was ready to jump on like every single other movie, like, but I don't know. I don't know what it is about Wish.
Well, I don't know, like Wish or Wonka, there's not one that makes me want to go see it more than the other, but also like not less than the other either. So I don't know. It might be a thing. Well, what timing works out better to go watch with the other movie? We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, but on top of that, like, yeah, no, there's been a lot of movies. Like, okay, yeah, like, so I saw Barbie 2. I watched Oppenheimer, so I did go see that. Like,
you got the full Barbenheimer experience.
I did. I watched it in a weekend. I didn't watch them back to back, like on the same day, but I did watch them in the same weekend. And like, I don't know, like, it was a well done movie. Like, it was good in that respect, but like, I didn't fall in love with it. Like, it's not like, oh, what am I gonna watch this weekend? Oh, let me just pull up Oppenheimer.
Toss in Oppenheimer. Yeah, I'm watch it eventually, I'm sure, but I'm not big on those like historical, things. They can be very interesting and very powerful. But that's just not usually my cup of tea. I like an escape from realism, not a punch in the face by it. So,
yeah. But we got Barbie, so
we got Barbie.
Which actually was kind of a lot of realism too, though. There was a lot going on in that movie.
Well, that's like reflective realism. That's a different thing than like real life.
Oppenheimer, which is like historical fiction or kind of.
Yeah.
So true, but no, a lot of movies. I typically watch a lot of movies at the beginning of the year because I try to watch any of the things that are nominated for Oscars. So actually one of those movies I watched, which if you are, I think you have to be a little bit older to understand, because I feel like, I don't know if the younger kids actually know about Marcel the Shell, but the movie Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, they made a whole feature-length movie about it that was nominated for an Oscar earlier this year. But I love those shorts on YouTube, and just the movie was good. It like hits you in the feels. Like,
aww.
It's a beautiful journey. It's so great, and it's the cute little like documentary style vibe, which is what like the YouTube videos have. But no, good time there. Yeah, I saw some really weird movies this year too. I don't know if I would recommend, but maybe I would if you're that type of person. But no.
I need to watch this movie still. Everything I find out about it is so disturbing, and I need to watch it.
No. Oh gosh, it's
podcast endorsed. Podcast endorsed.
It's like a well done movie, but I wouldn't like. It's Saltburn, listeners. It's Saltburn. So if you got vibes that movie is weird,
it's not a podcast movie. I don't think so.
No.
We will not be covering it on the podcast, but
you can message us if you watched it and what you thought, but we can have a conversation on the socials, but we're not gonna like do a deep dive into the episode or anything.
There are children here.
Yeah.
We have to protect the children.
It traumatized me. I'm an adult. Oh man. But yeah, so many movies. I'm trying to think, like, are there any movies you're looking forward to in the new year? Like, or
I was thinking about like what's coming out this year, and I can't think of.
Yeah,
because Spider-Verse isn't for 2 more years. Oh, and yeah, so many like Marvel projects, they're just all over the place right now and shaken up. If that's Marvel, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
Hey, the DCEU is over. Aquaman 2 came out, and that's the end of that. Anything that comes out from now on is like brand new.
That's true. Well,
so I'll probably not watch Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched The Flash yet, or Blue Beetle. I forgot about Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah, that one did really well.
Oh yeah.
I thought. Yeah. I don't know.
But other than that, like, I can't think of anything that's supposed to come out this upcoming year. Unless Frozen 3 makes a miraculous return and it's like, hey, we're coming out in November or something, which would be fine.
If it comes out next year, no, there's no way. I'm at a loss for words. I wish. I think it's still a couple years out. Although, did you see the thing about Bob Iger? Which we could do a whole deep dive into his interview.
Yeah, seriously.
I kind of want to critique that now.
It's like the one where he's talking about where he was like reflecting on like Disney as Frozen, a whole, and
it was the opening of the Frozen park, or the frozen area at Hong Kong.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Oh, which I'm like, okay, tell me you don't know Frozen without telling me you don't know Frozen. That's what the interview was. Where, you know, we have this land where they live in Frozen, this beautiful land that we recreated. Dude, it's Arendelle. Like, get with it. It's based, like, it's Norwegian. Get with it. Where we have Elsa and Anna, and I'm like, dude, it's Anna. Where have you been? People have been correcting this for years. We were celebrating the 10 years of Frozen. Do you not know the characters' names? But he let it slip that they're working on Frozen 3 and 4.
Yes. I saw that part.
Yeah. And I'm just like, so is it going to be a part 1, part 2 thing? Like, was it meant to let out that they were doing 2 movies? Like, I don't know. I'm a little confused by that. So, like, I so want more Frozen, but at the same time, I'm just like, what are we doing here?
We don't want to milk things, though. We want things if they're good things.
That's Disney.
Which is something he said. He said lately, like, oh, like, we need to stop doing things because we can do things only if it's good things. And I'm just like, okay, Bob Iger.
Well,
like, do you know the difference?
Yeah. Are you actually acting on that, or are you just saying words? Yeah.
Because he said a lot of words the last few months, that's for sure.
Yes. No. He said a lot of stuff. He's also said a lot of nasty things during the strikes, during everything. It's just been a lot. I'm like,
absolutely.
I'm like, okay, dude. And he'll still be in charge of the company for a couple of years. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. But no. Oh my gosh. If Frozen stuff does come out next year, I will be freaking out. I'm going to say we are dedicating 1 million episodes to Frozen.
1 million. You heard it, folks.
Yes,
1 million
1 million.
episodes.
Yes, 1 million.
We'll have to meet up and go watch it together.
Yes. Oh my gosh. 100%.
And hopefully we get a nice big banger like we did. Like when watching the second movie when she did Show Yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Like that was me. I was just like bawling. I was like, yes.
It was so beautiful. Oh, I was bawling too.
Like,
sure.
This is my Let It Go. This is my Let It Go. Like this one, that song is so much better than Let It Go. Like this is the best song in all the Frozen movies. I was there.
I love it, but I can't say it replaces Let It Go for me because Let It Go holds such a very, very, very special place in my heart, like in my life. So yeah, it's just it hit me. Yeah, but no, Show Yourself is great. I really love the music in the second movie, but maybe we'll save that for another episode for all the people who hate Frozen 2. We'll dive into it. Hey, I'm not calling the movie perfect. I still love it, though, and I will critique it, but at the same time, respect that movie and what they did with that movie.
Oh, yes.
That animation, beautiful. Yes, okay, so now this has turned into a Frozen podcast.
Duh.
Yeah. Which, I've actually been dying to watch those movies this year, and I haven't done it. I think I'm probably going to watch them, like, around Christmas or something. I don't know. Ooh. Hopefully I'll have watched this by the time this episode comes out. Yeah. We definitely, when we went to Disney, we did the Frozen Ever After. Is that what it is? The like the retelling, the sing along. I love that thing so much, and we absolutely did it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I would love to talk about Frozen forever, but are there any other movies we missed? Or I mean,
no,
I'm sure
I don't think so. You know? Like, I'm sure I missed a ton. But I mean, I didn't get to watch. I wanted to watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I have not gotten to do that yet because I don't have Paramount. I think is that what it's on, Paramount?
Yes, it's on Paramount.
I don't have Paramount. We'll get there eventually because I do really want to watch it. But no, I can't think of anything else that like I didn't get to watch this year. But that's mostly because I can't think of it, not because there was something. So
there's a couple movies that have come out in the last month or so that were like limited releases. I want to watch those, but I'll be watching those next year because I'm sure they'll be really hot with all the awards shows. So we'll see. Always tons of media to consume.
That's what we do.
Yes.
It's what we do here.
For sure. Yes.
Folks, don't ever expect anything else. It's what we do.
Well, listeners, let us know what you enjoyed this year, whether it was games, books, TV shows, movies, some other random nerdiness topic, or just something in general you want to share. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Oh, yeah. With our 100th anniversary, with our 100th episode coming up, we have so much that we want to get planned, but want to hear from you too. We want to hear from you all, what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you don't want. Tell us all the things in all the places.
Yeah. Let us know if you have questions for us that you want us to answer. If you want us to do like a Q&A or something, like, or have that as a part of it, just ask us anything. We'll just, we might filter the questions if you ask us everything, but
but no, if you want like doing an FAQ or an AMA, that would be great for 100th episode, I think. So like send us questions or email us. Just find us on our socials. Let us know, and maybe we can start compiling some stuff to talk about.
Yes, so we would love to hear from you, listeners.
Oh yeah. Ooh, man, what a year it's been, guys. Thank you for hanging on to us, or if this is your first time listening to us, hopefully you stick around a little bit longer, or go check out some of our older episodes. Folks, all of these episodes that we do, they come from a place of love for Chelsea and I. If we didn't love doing these things, we wouldn't do them, and we sure as heck wouldn't talk about them. So we're very grateful that you all take time out of your schedule to hear us chat together about all the things that we love, and we're glad that you choose to be a part of that. Even if you're only listening, maybe if you're not interacting with us on anything and you're just simply listening, thank you for doing that. We love that. We don't get anything for doing our podcast. It's all for us and it's all for you. So thank you all. Again, reach out to us on our socials. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, maybe shortly to come Discord. You can come hang out with us there. We are all over the place, so reach out to us, follow us. YouTube, I guess, too. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Yes. You can find our episodes, all of our episodes, on YouTube now. But guys, we hope that you have a wonderful holidays, and the rest of your 2023 is fantastic, and we'll see you again in 2024.
Yes.
So until then, we will catch you later.